Hey everybody, it's Kenny Care again, bringing you a review of one of the greats, Wes Craven, rest in peace. Here, one of the most prolific horror movie and thriller movie directors there were, of course. Um, This one's from 1989, so it's not his last one. I think his last one was Scream 4, right? Um, you've got Michael Murphy playing Lieutenant Don Parker. His son is Peter Berg, he's a football jock. He's played by Jonathan. Then Heather Langenkamp is in this one from the Elm Street movies, but she's just credited in IMDb as victim. I now to to be honest, this movie gets a 5.5 on IMDb. To be honest, I'm giving it a 4.5. Yeah, um, it lost a lot of. I wasn't paying too much attention. Mitch Pileggi plays Horace Pitcher, is the killer, and Ted Raimi plays a guy named Pac-Man. Don't know who the fuck Pac-Man is. Isn't that little thing that just goes like the? I mean, what happens is okay. This guy is the pitcher is being killing for years now. He's been killing mostly he's targeted families, children, wives, men, and the lieutenant's job is to catch him, but he always fails and this and that. And at some point, is it because Heather Langenkamp in this movie? Jonathan can foresee where the killer is going to strike, but the killer sees him. So at some point, the killer's like holding a knife on somebody's throat, and he's gonna slit her throat. And he says, "Stop! Why don't you take me off for a size?" "Oh, you stupid kid! I will." Then he goes to him, and then he's yelling like a guy's name who's looking after him, like in Nightmare on Elm Street, to wake him up. He wakes up and he disappears, and the killer can't catch him. And then they know exactly where to go, so he informs the dad. The first time he only went with four cops. That was a huge mistake because this guy is pretty big. And the second time he goes with a lot more cops, and then they arrest him. Now, this, I mean, first of all, a ripoff, and a ripoff with Heather Langenkamp in the movie,
You like killing too, huh, Squirt? It's in the blood.
and Wes Craven directed the movie, so it's a ripoff from the director. Is it considered a ripoff? Is the director of the original movie? I mean, did he do all the Nightmare on Elm Street movie? I'm not a big Elm Street Night on Elm's here I'm a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. You know, did he direct all his movies or just a few? Like John Carpenter, reviewed a few. I know Friday the 13th is all over the place. Every time different director or yeah, Steve Cunningham, Steve Miner. But should that be a ripoff if Wes Craven uses sort of a little bit the uh, same kind of thing this movie like that happens in Nightmare on Elm Street. Elm Street. Now, before I go to spoilers, the reason why I do not like this movie is because it's not fast paced. It gets a little bit tedious, a little bit boring. The killer to me is not intimidating. He's okay. He's like, like this bald, has a big knife, but he just looks like a roided up aggressor. He doesn't look, you know, usually the ones that are talking too much, those are the ones who are not scary at all. It's the ones that don't talk. That's the reason why a lot of people shit on Final Exam, but the killer doesn't say a word, and that's why I still like Final Exam over this. It gets a 5.5 Final Exam. And a lot of people are going to give me shit for this, but and especially for the great Wes Craven, and I still see him as a great, but he gave us the Scream series, he gave us Nightmare on Elm Street, but I'm just not a big fan of it. Especially, I like the first two movies, but then when it went the comedic route, then you know. Now, this movie cost $5 million, bombed in the U.S. 4,500,000, but did well worldwide. I mean, they 16,500,000. So, okay, they got some money out of it, right? Now, what happens is this guy at some point when he's in jail, he's of course on death row. It's the the death row is still with the electric chair. He likes electricity. There's a part in the movie where he's putting his fingers in electricity, getting shocks, and doing this. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's like he's having an orgasm while he's fingering the. Okay, now I just get that word. Fingering the contacts, but he is eventually when they arrive at his cell to get him, up in the Green Mile, right? He is doing this weird spell. He has like a satanic ritual where he has candles everywhere, and he's has a TV with a VHS or whatever, and he's or laser display. I'm not sure even which if it was back then at that time, and he's give it to me, and he's being look at, you see this hand coming out. It's okay, I'm gonna give it to you. It's it's almost give it to me. Then I thought, okay, what the fuck is happening? So who the fuck gave him candles? That's dangerous, right? I mean, even if you get a last meal, your fork and knife is made out of plastic. So I couldn't. And the priest, fucking blasphemy. Fucking blasphemy. Okay, that's a good priest. Eventually, then, before they got him, he also got his Jonathan's girlfriend, and that scene was sad. That scene was a really sad scene because I think that was Heather Langenkamp, a victim. um, but it reminded me his reaction, the anger, but also the sadness. It reminded me of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 when Sheriff Brackett finds Annie dead, stabbed to death. And I thought that was also pretty impressive in a way that it's not that I mean impressive the acting, the sadness, the you know what I mean, that's raw acting. That sort of reminded me. And then of course he wants to be there in that. There's even a moment where when he's trying to escape, he jumps. The guy has a bridge. He crawls over the bridge to the next building, and he's doing like, not this time, punk. And he's like, and then I think he slams it with his two legs. Like he's a football player. He just slams him with his two legs in the air. Boom, bah. They're fighting, and I have to say, he's a tough kid. He's a tough kid. Because I think he's the quarterback. He's a tough kid. But then when he's in the chair, he's he's saying something to Jonathan that I killed your mom and I was stabbing her, but you son of a bitch, you shot me in the leg. Because he has a limp all the way through the movie. He has a limp. Even when he comes back later through death, he has a limp. So, and he was a foster kid. So, apparently, uh, Pitchard was his real dad, and Lieutenant Don Parker wasn't. Now, the thing is, this isn't completely. So, when he says this, it's totally not okay, fine, you're my dad, now I'll kill him. And then when they wanted to fry him, he likes it. It's like sitting there, and then his head, the thing comes off, and his head's fully fried. Because normally they should put a water sponge in between the head, right? So the electrodes get faster to the brains and mush the brains out. No, he's just give it to me raw, baby. And then the doctor goes and see this, and she touches him, but she's being electrified, but apparently she wasn't electrified. Apparently what he did is he jumps. He now has the ability to jump from person to person, and at some point he has the ability, because he's in front of a satellite dish hanging there, to go mainstream through television sets. So he can just pop out in. It's been weeks when this picture's copycat killer is killing families. Some say they think some say they saw him coming out of the TV, and no, it is him. He's coming out of the TV. It's just, and then there's this moment between him and Jonathan, uh, when they're going from screen to screen in a TV, from a black and white movie. They're fighting on the background. They're saying, "Hey, what's happening out there?" And then to a cartoon, and then the Mickey Mouse is like, "Hey, hey, what's happening now? Hey, hey!" this, oh, this is goofy. And then you have a like Roseanne. I think they even start fighting and scuffling in Roseanne. I mean, what the hell? And oh, that was so stupid. That wasn't horrifying. And eventually, how he dies. He dies. How the hell did he die? Now I'm thinking how he died. Yeah, I don't. I saw this movie yesterday. He. I know Jonathan has this necklace with a heart that he can't. It's like a cross for a vampire. He can't touch it, or and he jumps back in a television set, but the television set with him in, he can't go anywhere, explodes. But he's not dead yet because he says you have to put your TV eventually on, Jonathan. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at that. He's not dead yet. Oh, and Daddy Parker, Daddy Don, you're not my real father. The serial killer is my father. Right. Okay. Now, this movie has too much loose ends. There are silly moments when he's, like I said, when they're going from station to station to station. The killer isn't imposing. Every moment they fight, it's almost like Jonathan can't keep up with him. He's not a weakling. You know, he rather faces him than than escape, which doesn't make him imposing or petrifying, because he rather fights him every fucking time. And the acting from the killer too was a little bit over the top, being this crazed guy who's yelling and no, no, no. It's not, in my opinion, not one of Wes Craven's best movies. The Shocker. I mean, first of all, so what did I? Let's start with I liked is, you see Heather Langenkamp, that sad scene with her dying, and Jonathan, that reminded me of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 when Sheriff Brackett finds Annie. A raw moment, a really raw moment, a very sad moment. Um, and that's about it. Yeah, I think so. I think so. The what I disliked was the acting. I didn't like the acting for some reason. No one really. Um, and especially not the killer. He wasn't imposing. He wasn't scary. He was. Now Wes Craven made did create Nightmare on Elm Street, and got I understand. He took his idea in this movie, so it's not actually a ripoff. It's just putting his that idea in this movie, and so but then it comes over a little bit as a lazy. So because I think he only uses it twice. That's it. Uh, no, that's it, man. It's not the best movie. Sorry, I'm giving it a 4.5. In any case, subscribe. It's free, and I am actually losing money because my editor is a app where I have to pay for. So, in that isn't that commitment? Hela. So, see you next time for some more fun and some more good horror movies. Hopefully, good, better than this one. And have a nice day. Right? Bye.